do, y'all? I go by the name of Dreamy Alpha here with my nigga.
It's your boy Mo Gali, you already know who it is.
And today we will be talking about Avengers Endgame and potential catastrophic consequences from all the shit that's happened in it.
Right, so, alright, first of all, before I continue any further,
alright, yeah, go ahead.
I shouldn't have to repeat this, but you know, if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame,
put it in your hand, send it to him.
Little spoiler alert right there, you know what I mean? I don't know
how you even made it this far without watching. It's
been like
Avengers Endgame. I don't know why you're here, but
2 fucking weeks at this point. Like
3
weeks at this point. It's all over Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
It's been spoiled.
Yeah.
I know you know Tony Stark died. I said it was spoilers, so hey, I already said it. But now that we're talking about spoilers, let's just go into what's the first thing that happens in the movie that you realize is gonna cause a real catastrophic consequence, which is
Thanos has destroyed all the stones.
All the stones, reduced them to atoms. When I seen that in the theater, I literally felt like I had a heart attack. I was like, you did what? You did?
I like shit myself when he did that. I was like, you did that already in the beginning? Like,
when Bruce Banner goes back in time and he speaks with the Ancient One, they have a whole conversation about how the future would be like without the stones.
And she basically let him know, like,
like,
well, I'm sure she let him know, like,
she said without the stones to protect their universe, that it would stray off and make an alternate universe for real. And then that's when Bruce Banner was like, okay, well, what if we put the stones back? And cool, okay, so the past is cool, but that means that our future right now is defenseless against any universal threats because there's no more stones. You also have to consider what happened in Doctor Strange's movie when he pretty much used the time stone to pretty much back off Dormammu in that thing. Like, did you see what was happening in China at that time? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, they didn't get away as clean as they should have. Like, the mission didn't go like exactly how it was planned in more than half of their missions.
Like, if it was a test, they really got like a 73%.
Yeah. Yeah, you passed.
You passed, but it's like, I mean, yeah, you need to improve. Satisfactory.
You were saying, we were talking earlier, we were talking about how Loki got away with the Tesseract.
Yeah, and he got away clean. Then they were like, okay, we're just gonna do it all over again. It's just like, no, it doesn't.
Nah, it doesn't work like so that. So I think
no.
that made an alternate timeline, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then 2014 Thanos comes to 2023, and that leaves, okay, people are saying, okay, now that alternate timeline has been created where Thanos never came for the stones, that doesn't necessarily mean that nobody went for the stones. That just means that Thanos doesn't come for the stones. Because if you remember in Civil War, Vision literally said,
I'm saying there may be a causality. Our very strength invites challenge. Challenge incites conflict. Conflict breeds catastrophe.
bro, someone's going to fill that void to be the most dominant villain in that universe. It's just going to happen. And in this one, it could be Ronan. It could be someone else that we haven't seen. It could be the Skrulls.
There were 3 snaps. There was one, of course, in Infinity War that started all this bullshit.
Yeah.
And then Hulk did a snap and Iron Man did a snap.
Yep.
So
3 snaps.
3 snaps. So in my opinion, and the fact that they already fucked up everything with the stones and everything,
yeah.
In my opinion, shit is all fucked up. Like,
right.
So one of the
we find out in Spider-Man Far From Home that it tore holes in our dimension. Or it could just be Mysterio lying. But I really do believe it probably did tear holes into the dimension.
Yeah.
You might have to still deal with the consequences from those alternate timelines because now dimensions have now started to fuse together.
Exactly.
That means the villain that has to fill the void since Thanos left, someone's gonna come and fill that motherfucker and y'all ain't gonna know what to do.
Because he could be, what if he's stronger than Thanos?
Yeah, we don't know. What if it's like a nihilist? What if it's Galactus? Matter of fact, in Spider-Man Far From Home, I really think that building that they're building behind Peter in the trailer is the Fantastic Four building, because since the MCU started, right? They've with Spider-Man. As far as the MCU and what they've done with Spider-Man, they have strayed away from anything any of the other Spider-Man movies have done. And Norman Osborn has been a big part of all of those other Spider-Man films. So I feel like they're going to shy away from Norman Osborn until like a little later in the films, for real. You get what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think that's going to be the Fantastic Four building. So I do think Galactus is going to be on his way. But with Galactus and Fantastic Four on their way, that also brings us to our next point. There's an unbalance in the multiverse, which could potentially bring on the Secret Wars. In the Secret Wars, there was an imbalance between all the multiverses, so the builders went around in order to try to maintain balance between all the multiverses. They started destroying all the multiverses so everything could just start over. Reed Richards stumbles upon this, and by the time he stumbles upon this, it's already too late. Everything dies. He creates this Noah's Ark thing to survive the next White Bang with who does he have in there? He has a bunch of people. It's Spider-Man. I think it's Miles Morales, Spider-Man. He loses Sue Storm and everyone else. They don't remember anything. But when they get into this new universe, it's a universe that is controlled by Doctor Doom. And it's called Battle World. So they could potentially be building towards that, just because now there's a tear dimension. So now this imbalance, especially without the Infinity Stones, that could be happening at the next 10 year milestone.
Yeah, so that's something to look forward to as on 37.
Yeah.
So one of the things I mentioned is one person that I think not too many people thought much about is Scarlet Witch. And
Scarlet Witch.
She is super distraught.
Did you see what she said? How she was when she approached Thanos? She was like, "You took everything from me."
And Thanos, I don't even know who you are. And before he rained fire, Scarlet Witch she was getting it right with Thanos.
But if you check the things out, yeah, she was she was definitely trashing Thanos before the forces came down or whatever. But mentally, look what all of these movies have been doing to her, bro. Like, she's losing. She lost her brother Peter.
Right.
Quicksilver. She lost Vision in this one, and we all know the real lengths of Scarlet Witch's powers and how they grow the longer she has her powers.
Exactly.
So that's also maybe bringing up the storyline of House of M. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that one, but it's a joint where pretty much you ever heard of the Illuminati, right? Great. So we all know it has Black Panther, Reed Richards, at some points Namor, Iron Man, and Professor X, right?
Right.
So Professor X pretty much comes to the conclusion that, hey, Scarlet Witch is a little too crazy, and she's been warping reality and doing her thing, and she's completely unstable. She created a reality where Vision was alive and they had a baby and shit, and that didn't go too well for real. So Professor X realized, okay, you're unstable, and he was like, okay, we might have to kill Scarlet Witch. And when they went to go try to kill Scarlet Witch, that did not go anyway like how they did.
Of course.
She actually made a perfect universe and all that. But anyway, that's cool. They definitely could be setting that up, because she definitely has a tortured past now.
They could be setting that up, or
not to mention her people who got killed in Sokovia
exactly. Her people that got killed in Sokovia that even made her and her brother be like, okay, we're gonna right. I mean, what if Peter fuck around and comes back? What if Quicksilver fuck around and came back? And her
I feel like if he did come back, it would be because she warped reality for him to come back. Because now that all the stones are gonna be gone, she's gonna be wielding a lot more of that infinity power. So I really feel like that might happen, but I feel like it's gonna be her to do it.
But either way, like, she's one of the strongest Avengers, but mentally she's like, you know, she's emotionally drained. She's really emotionally drained.
Which can cause lots of danger for all of the MCU's future. Exactly. Which brings us to our next point. The beginning of what we believe to be is mutants with the 3 snaps. We believe that either if the mutants don't come through the tear through dimensions, that they will show up because of, if not one, all 3 of the snaps that happened for real. If you go back to the movie in Endgame, Rocket was there and he was like, when he snapped, it created a whole cosmic radiation that the world or the universe has never seen before, which would definitely explain more of the powers that come with the X-Men. The only thing about it is, I'm not sure I really like that story. Like, honestly, like, it could be a way that they do it, but I honestly hope that they like just do them in their own separate universe and then just like kind of bring them in like through the tear of dimensions and stuff like that. I would definitely prefer that. This one's a little farlandish, but I really do believe this, and I want to say the return of Red Skull. Leaving Red Skull open or alive for real has never been the greatest. Matter of fact, I wonder how that conversation. Do you think Red Skull was there when like Cap returned the Soul Stone and he's just like, "Hey, Steve."
What are you? He's just. What are you?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, what are you doing? It's like, oh. He's probably like, "Hey, what?"
Oh my God. What if, right?
Right.
What if Steve Rogers does run into Red Skull, right? And they get into this whole fucking fight out in Vormir, and he steals the Pym particles and shit. And because he's been in the cosmos and shit, he links up with the Skrulls, and then he starts a whole new secret invasion once he realizes that Hydra is gone from Earth and shit.
That's not far-fetched. That's just a crazy theory, but damn.
I'm just going off the top.
That's not throwing it to the wall. That's not far-fetched at all.
Yeah, because in the comic books, we've known him to like band up with other villains and stuff like that. And I can see.
And Hydra does hide in plain sight. Like
yeah,
they hide, but they don't hide.
I can see. If you don't remember in Captain Marvel, remember they were talking about how the Skrulls don't really have a planet of their own and stuff like that. I can see Red Skull going to the Skrulls and saying, "Hey, do you want to have an Earth or a planet again or something like that? Then help me conquer, take over the Avengers and something like that." And he could have snuck. It could be Steve Rogers. He could have won that fight. Old Man Cap could be Steve Rogers. You know what I mean? Like. Old Man Cap could be a Skrull or something like that. But I mean, that is like an interesting plot point. But yeah, those are all of the catastrophic consequences that we believe may potentially have or have not happened in Avengers Endgame. Anything else you want to say, bro?
No.
Guys, we want to thank you guys for giving us all of these new views. It's not much, but I mean, it's more than we were having before.
We're really thankful. Definitely got to start somewhere. If you have anything you want to add, I would definitely add
put it in the comments. If you have any other catastrophic consequences that you believe has come from Avengers Endgame, put them in the comments below and let us know.
Back.
Yeah, I definitely talk back to everyone. I even got my notifications on, so I see everybody who comments on the videos and stuff like that. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, and let everybody know how cool we are, man. I mean, I'm cooler than him, but